Great. So now we're recording. Let's talk about the mission for the Denver Game Builders. Our mission is to share our passion for game building and promote our core values. Our core values are courage, willingness to try, inclusivity, curiosity, respect, and generosity. We believe in a world where diverse visions create enriching game experiences that expand the field of gaming. Um, so basically, just being willing to try stuff, and just being excited about seeing different people making different games that represent the diverse perspectives that are in the world. They just see more variety that could probably come from um, more creative endeavors coming from this playful realm with games and gaming. And we have this. Okay, so attendees. I don't know how that works. Okay. Okay. So we have this link here to the roster in the chat. Let's see what I can do about putting that in a post thing or whatever. The idea here is that we can get kind of a thing going here so we can keep track of what different people have, what they're interested in, whether you're developing a project, so we can facilitate the organization, which I will go to in a second. Let's continue talking about the sort of overview of the group. Denver Game Builders. Our purpose is to connect with other people who are working to achieve their vision, and to encourage anyone and everyone to try making games as an avenue for growing the value of curiosity in the world and seeking more diverse entries in the field of gaming. It is always vital to be connected to others who share your passion and are working for it as you are working for it. We seek to vitalize our efforts by consorting with driven peers. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious. Is like the idea of steel sharpens steel, but maybe take a little of the drama out of that. It's really about giving people the opportunity to, as it can sometimes be, kind of feel alone in what you're doing. Hopefully, we could just sort of get the opportunity to connect with other people who are doing the things that you're doing, right? Because programming, which is a lot of what's involved in making games and the creative process, can be pretty isolating. If you're making something yourself, I mean, I suppose you could work in a small team. I personally have not done that, so but my experience would be more along the isolating avenue. So it can be very energizing to connect with other people who are doing the similar things, and hopefully, we could share challenges and share our insight into the things that we've been doing and everything. Okay. It is open to all, regardless of location of a face. So it's mainly the interface for the chapters that are location based. As long as you can make the meetup times, you're welcome to participate. Okay. So that is our purpose. I think it's pretty basic, but hopefully that it could be, it could serve well. So our schedule for now, and I have not made the second event yet. I haven't done a ton on this yet, so it's something I need to get into more. But for now, the first and third Monday of every month. Time to be determined. It could be 3 p.m., which that's 3 p.m. Denver time. That's basically the same time as this present event. So that can be the time, and we could add other things. We'll just see how it goes. Get some sort of steam first. But yeah, anyway, that's probably about as much as I could say about the schedule. That's kind of just one line there. So our group concept here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm still doing all the things. So group concept, the concept, and these like little blobs would be sort of representing different groups here, I guess. Is an infographic good if you have to explain it? I don't know. Don't ask me. I hope that we don't have to get into that. Anyway, each meeting we will form small groups. I'm presuming of like 2 to 4 people. Um, right now, obviously, that would probably be ambitious, but hopefully we'll see. Each meeting, so we form small groups based on shared interests. However those can converge, whether it's people who are presently working on projects, people who are looking for projects, people who are working on a particular game engine. That can be kind of fluid. We can sort of probably create those groupings at the beginning of the meeting when we see who's there. Okay. Yep. Yep. You are welcome. That I did not want to make a sword. What? In Grinny face with smiley eyes. I did not want to make a dagger. Okay. So each member. This is speculative. Each member will give a prepared presentation on what they worked on recently, which could address challenges encountered, lessons learned, whatever sparks your interest. It could also just be sort of an open discussion. It doesn't need to be dictated. I would encourage people to sort of think about, it's sort of the way that I am. So I guess I assume that, most people would not have too much trouble having some thoughts that they may have had in confronting whatever challenges over the course of a couple of weeks that you've encountered developing something, and then it just a little bit of work maybe goes into typing up a paragraph or something just to kind of try to summarize those thoughts, and it could I think it helps us as developers. But again, it could be a fluid discussion. People within their own groups could also decide to do projects or whatever together of whatever type. I mean, not necessarily game projects. I could move on to the next slide. I'll kind of give some foundation for what I might be thinking along those lines. So first of all, I've created this repository for beginners. I may move this to, I may create a GitHub account for the Denver game builders, but I'm not totally sure. It might work fine enough to just leave this here. But right now, I've just put a few things on here. Eventually, I could put more. We could just organize it by programming language, and then put links to game engines. Like here we have Phaser.io. I'm aware of the arcade engine for Python, and then try to put links to tutorial projects where you can make a game in that game engine, or in the case here, I was a little more familiar with JavaScript, so I did put some JavaScript tutorials that I found. This one here, 2D pure JS breakout tutorial from MDN is one that I actually used myself back a while ago, and then I just sort of extended it. One reason why I'm doing this is because it can be a good way to just sort of get some type of project going. And this is more aimed at beginners, but we can add more to this, and it is possible to it's something definitely that's on my radar to create a web page, just a static page to begin with for this, and then would not be much problem to add some JavaScript. But some projects might involve developing this page in different ways, and also potentially it's sort of thinking far out, but groups of people could work on developing a tutorial game project to put that out there. That's just kind of an option. So if you would like to, you are welcome to introduce yourself in the chat or however you might like to do so. So if you want to address any of this stuff, any of these things you might want to talk about yourself, that's welcome. If you want to talk about how you got interested in making games, what kind of games you're interested in making, have you made any games so far, where you're located, other interests, do you already have ideas for games, are you working on a game now, what could you use help with? These are questions that seem somewhat relevant to me. This one, do you already have ideas for games, is that's a fascinating one for me, because I feel like I always have ideas for games, which on some level I find to be pretty helpful for me. But everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, so some people might be better at getting things started or whatever, and other people might be better at doing the work or staying on track. I don't know. I don't really know. I do not know all of the things that can be known. So let me see if there's anything else to really go through on this. Not really a ton. So I may conclude recording that. I will not. All right.